All right. Hey guys. I didn't see myself on the screen, so my apologies in regards to that delay there. Hello, hello, hello to everyone. I am Chastity A. Wells, your insurance lady. Thank you so much if you jumped on my broadcast earlier and I wasn't quite able to get everything pulled together. I was still struggling a little bit with some of my technology here, since this is my first time using this platform in particular. Um, but I'm super excited about this information that I wanted to share with everyone today. And that is in regards to life insurance for our children. Now, I want to give you a little bit of information about who I am so you'll understand why I am qualified to share this information with you. I'm a licensed insurance agent in multiple states. My resident state is the state of Georgia. However, I've been licensed for more than a decade now, selling life insurance. I originally started out selling health insurance, and then I transitioned into life insurance after the Affordable Care Act. Now, since then, I've actually been primarily selling life insurance, and I do enjoy it. So, with me being a licensed broker, which that means that I do not work for one particular company, I represent many companies. I am at the great benefit to actually be able to serve each and every one of my clients in a different role and a different capacity than when someone actually works for one insurance carrier. So I'm actually able to really research, look over different things, what policies best service my client, and make sure everyone's families are taken care of in the best way. Because everyone's needs are a lot different than your neighbors. Well, you and your neighbors could be the same, but other people in another neighborhood may have different needs than what you may have. So that's a little bit about me, just so you'll have that information and what qualifies me. Okay. And hello to everyone on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And definitely feel free to follow me on any of those social media platforms. And it is just as my name says at the bottom, Chastity A. Wells. And that's how you'll find me on all social medias. Now, let's get ready to jump into my favorite topic, and that's going to be life insurance. So, one of the great things that I wanted to talk about during this time is making sure that our children are covered with life insurance during this time. It's very, very, very important. Okay. I know many times that we look to make sure our grandparents are covered, right? And we're looking for people ages 65 to 85, right? But the reality is, 85 is really the cutoff for insurance. 65 is great. That's great. However, the best time to get insurance, especially for our children, is 14 days old. Okay. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but we are still in a pandemic. We're not sure when these variants are going to let up. We're not really sure how these different things are really going to play itself out. However, we must put ourselves in the position to make sure that our families are well protected and taken care of. Okay. So with that being said, like we don't know, like with the different variants, the different strands, and all those different things that are coming out, if it's actually going to cause some different issues later with people cardiovascular system, the liver, any other things that could happen. Okay. This is not about a political stance or anything else like that. I'm telling you this strictly from a field writing understanding. Okay. So I know that anything can happen. And so for me, what I'm really pushing and talking to each and every one of my clients about is making sure that your children are taken care of. Grandparents, if even if you're obviously you're not having any more kids, but even after your grandkids are born, before that mother goes back to work after FMLA, make sure your grandchildren are covered. Here's why. At 14 days old, there is no, we don't know if there's some kidney issue, liver issue, or any type of issue, right? Or if that child could end up end up on dialysis or end up needing, what is that? Diabetes, type 1, insulin shots, anything because the mother had been vaccinated. Or let's talk about people who haven't been vaccinated. We don't know if that strand has left something inside of our bodies and it does something to our children. We don't know yet. We are still in the midst of fighting through this, guys. Not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just being honest and very forthcoming with the information because I want you to understand how important it is to make sure that these babies are protected. Okay. We are the only ones that can make the decision for them. And I really wanted to convey very importantly how important that this is. So at 14 days old, we can't tell if a kid has autism. We can't tell any of those things. Now, I'm not saying this in the guise of we're trying to manipulate the insurance companies. Absolutely not. No, I've been licensed far too long for that. I'm not going to say anything like that. What I am saying is, as an advocate for families, right? I want to make sure that each family is taken care of. So you can get insurance as low as $5,000 all the way up to $50,000 without any excessive medical questions, right? I just want to make sure that your child doesn't have autism, your child isn't in the hospital, different things like that, right? Very simple and clean underwriting in regards to that. So we can do that as early as 14 days. We can do it all the way up, okay? The great thing about a children's policy as well is it gains cash value. So it becomes like a savings account for your child as well. So if you wanted to, like when your child turns 16 and take some cash out and, help that child purchase a car or anything else like that, you can definitely do that. Okay. One of my other favorite things about children's policy as well is we have something called a guaranteed insurability clause. Now, what a guaranteed insurability clause means is that if we find out, like, okay, let's say we'll use my daughter for example, right? So Kimora has insurance, and let's say, at age 16, we find out my daughter has, diabetes, insulin diabetic, right? Typically, that is an uninsurable issue, right? But she's already insured, so she's good. So by the time she's 25 years old, long as we're still paying on the premium, which I will still be paying on it for her, right? Then we can get her more coverage without the evidence of more insurability. Okay. So that means that even though she is insulin diabetic, and typically at the age of 25, with her being insulin diabetic, um, typically she would not be insurable for life insurance. However, because I got it for her while she was young, guess what? The insurance company have to honor what they put in writing. Okay. So they would have to be able to give her more coverage, guys. And this is key. And this is so important. This is what I really want you guys to really hone in and understand during this time, because right now, that's what insurance companies are offering. Now, listen, since we've been in this pandemic, there are many plans that the insurance companies have taken off the table. Like they were once on the table, they're off the table. Not completely discontinued, but we have to understand the insurance companies are in business to make profit as well. Okay. So there are a lot of things that are not available anymore that was just available a few months ago that I was offering to my clients that's not available anymore. Okay. So this isn't something that we can hem ha about and like drag our feet and say, oh, we'll get to it, we'll figure it out, or any of those type of things. We're not in that space anymore, guys, where we can do those type of things. We're not in that space anymore. So we really have to be serious in regards to protecting our families and regards to protecting our children. And I know it's not a comfortable conversation we like to have, because even for myself as a mother, you think I want to think about something happening to my precious daughter? No, absolutely not. No. In my whole mind, my whole goal is that we have it, and it'll be something that she can just continue to build cash value on. And, we can take the cash out and roll it into something else when she's an adult. That's my goal, right? However, life does happen. So I want to make sure that I have prepared my daughter as well. Okay. And prepare myself and everything else too, because, it is a very crazy time. So I just wanted to take the time and kind of go over that information and share it, because I see people talk about so many other things, but we're really not talking about children. Okay. So another thing that I touched on really briefly, but I would really like to hone in on it, is grandparents. Grandparents, you do have an insurable interest to make sure your grandkids are insured. Now, there are times that we have younger parents, like the mother may only be like 25 years old, 26 years old, or even 30, and she's just not uh, financially responsible enough to understand the benefit of her child being insured, right? The cool thing is you have insurable interest as a grandparent. You can simply direct message me, call me, and we can get your grandkid insured. You don't need to know their full social, their doctor's name, all those different things. Okay. I just need to know that your child is not, that grandbaby is not in the hospital. Okay. And they're not suffering from autism or anything else like that. So it really is very simple to insure our children and make sure that our children and our future is actually protected. However, we have to make the conscious decision and the right steps to go ahead and reach out to someone and, state what is going on with our families, right? Um, because a lot of times people don't know a licensed insurance agent that's available. And I definitely do not recommend going to your place that you get your auto insurance from to get a policy to protect your family, because those companies, let's just use Allstate as an example. And I'm not disparaging any company, guys. This is strictly just information. Okay. So, like when these property and casualty companies were built, it was built to protect property, 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 property. Casualty means car crashes. Okay. Casualty, casualty. Right. So that's what those companies were established for. And then when they start seeing that there was other things that they can insure, like lives, then they wanted to start going into that market. But just like we only go to Blue Cross and Blue Shield for our health insurance, we wouldn't ever allow Blue Cross and Blue Shield to call us and say, hey, I have car insurance for you. Why? No, they're a health insurance company, right? So the same way that we do that is the same way we should treat our health or our life insurance. Life insurance companies that started out as life insurance companies that are still in the market as life insurance companies that are completely backed. You're looking at the mutual companies, Penn Mutual, Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, Liberty Bankers Life. These are life insurance companies. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. We don't want I don't recommend as a licensed broker utilizing places where you get insurance for your vehicles or your boats and think that you're going to have the full capacity for a life insurance. You can. However, what I recommend is dealing with people in their niche market. And so you understand in your totality of what you have, so there's no confusion in regards to what you and your family have. Okay. So I just wanted to give you that information for today. Make sure we really make sure our children are protected. It's super simple. The application will take us less than 10 minutes to be able to get it done, start to finish. Unless you just have a lot of questions and stuff like that, but just like typical paperwork takes no time at all. So if you don't have an insurance agent, definitely feel free to reach out to me. You can DM me on any of my social media sites. You can also visit my website, which is just like my name, which is chastityawells.com. I'm still getting used to how showing on my side. ChastityAWells.com. So that's CHASIT as in Tom YA Wells.com. And you can click the link in there and it'll send it over to me. So you can schedule an appointment. We can go over some information, how I can best assist you and your family and get you protected. If you have an insurance agent, reach out to them. Get your grandkids and your children protected, guys. We're in a very scary time still. It hasn't let up. I'm not here to scare you. I'm just here to impress upon you that we really must make sure our families are protected and our needs are taken care of. Again, if you need me for anything, any consultation, any questions to clear up anything, definitely reach out to me, direct message me, call me. I'm here for you. Thank you so much for your time, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you all. Stay safe and get insured.